Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our presentation on forensic fire and explosion investigation. Today, we'll be exploring comprehensive methods and the crucial legal considerations involved in this field. We'll dive into understanding the causes of fires and explosions, how to properly collect and analyze evidence, and discuss the ethical practices that guide forensic investigations. I'm excited to take you through this important and fascinating topic. Let's get started. When we talk about forensic fire and explosion investigation, we're referring to a detailed and methodical process used to examine fire and blast incidents. The goal is to figure out exactly where the fire or explosion started, what caused it, and the circumstances surrounding the event. This isn't just about understanding what happened. It plays a critical role in legal cases, helping to establish facts and accountability. Beyond the courtroom, these investigations drive improvements in safety and help prevent similar incidents from occurring in the future. To achieve this, investigators apply a combination of scientific knowledge and hands-on investigative methods. This blend of science and detective work is essential to uncovering the truth and ensuring that conclusions are accurate and reliable. When we talk about the scope of forensic investigations in fire and explosion incidents, there are several key areas to consider. First and foremost, a primary goal is determining the exact cause of the fire or explosion. This step is crucial because understanding what triggered the event helps in preventing future occurrences. Next, investigators work to identify any responsible parties or sources of negligence, which can have legal and financial implications. Another important aspect is the careful collection and preservation of evidence. This ensures that all findings remain intact and reliable for legal proceedings. Additionally, analyzing fire patterns and residue provides vital clues about how the fire spread and its intensity. Forensic experts often provide testimony in court, explaining their findings clearly to judges and juries. Lastly, these investigations are rarely done in isolation. They typically involve collaboration between fire departments, law enforcement, and specialized forensic labs to pool expertise and resources effectively. All these elements together form the comprehensive approach needed for thorough fire and explosion investigations. Fires and explosions can happen for a variety of reasons, and understanding these causes is crucial for prevention and safety. First, we have accidental causes. These include things like equipment failure, electrical faults, and human error, situations where something goes wrong unintentionally. Then there are natural causes, such as lightning strikes or spontaneous combustion, which occur without human involvement but can be equally dangerous. Finally, there are deliberate acts, which involve intentional actions like arson, sabotage, or terrorism. Recognizing these different causes helps us better prepare and respond to potential fire and explosion hazards. Here we have some common examples of fire and explosion causes. First, accidents like a short circuit in wiring can easily start a fire in a home, which is something we see fairly often. Next, natural causes such as lightning strikes during thunderstorms can ignite forest fires, showing how nature itself can trigger these events. Then, there are deliberate acts where arsonists use accelerants to intentionally set fires, like in the case of a commercial building being targeted. All of these examples highlight just how varied the situations are that forensic investigators need to carefully examine to determine the exact cause of fire or explosion. Understanding these different scenarios is crucial for solving cases accurately. When investigating a scene, the first and most critical step is to ensure scene safety. This protects everyone involved and helps maintain the integrity of the evidence. Next, it's important to secure the area tightly, controlling who has access, while also noting any environmental conditions that might affect the scene. Thorough documentation follows, where detailed notes and sketches are created to capture important details that might not be immediately obvious. Taking photographs from multiple angles is essential to accurately preserve the visual context of the scene. Finally, recording videos add another layer by showing spatial relationships, which can be invaluable during analysis and in court presentations. Each of these steps ensures that the investigation is thorough, accurate, and reliable. When it comes to collecting and preserving evidence, there are several key types we need to focus on. First, physical evidence, which includes things like debris, burned materials, and any suspected accelerants that might have been involved. These items give us direct clues about what happened at the scene. Next, we have chemical evidence, which consists of residues that can be analyzed to identify flammable substances. This helps us understand the cause and spread of a fire. We also need to consider digital evidence, such as surveillance footage or sensor data, which can provide valuable information on the timeline and activities leading up to the event. Now, an essential part of all of this is maintaining the chain of custody. This means carefully documenting every transfer and handling of the evidence to prevent any contamination or tampering. Without a strict chain of custody, the evidence could be questioned in court. Finally, ensuring the credibility of the evidence overall is critical. This guarantees that the evidence is admissible and trusted in judicial proceedings, ultimately supporting a reliable investigation and fair outcome. When investigating fires and explosions, several key analysis techniques come into play. First, laboratory chemical analysis is crucial. This involves identifying accelerants and explosive residues using methods like chromatography and spectroscopy, which allow us to pinpoint specific chemicals present at the scene. Next, fire pattern interpretation provides valuable insight into how the fire spread, where it originated, and what heat sources were involved. By examining burn marks and char patterns, investigators can reconstruct the sequence of events. Residue detection methods also play an important role. These involve collecting samples using swabs and wipes, which are then analyzed under controlled conditions to detect any trace evidence. Ultimately, it's the combination of these techniques, laboratory analysis, pattern interpretation, and residue detection, that enables investigators to piece together a comprehensive timeline and determine the cause of the incident. When reconstructing a fire or explosion event, the first step is to assemble all the investigative findings into a clear and coherent timeline. This helps us understand the sequence of events that led to the incident. Next, it's crucial to identify the exact point of origin and the ignition source, as this sharpens the focus of our reconstruction and narrows down potential causes. We also take into account witness statements, physical evidence, and environmental factors, which provide valuable context and support a more complete analysis. By combining all these elements, we can accurately determine how and why the incident occurred, ensuring a thorough and reliable reconstruction. When we talk about the legal and ethical framework in forensic investigations, several key points stand out. First, preserving evidence integrity is crucial. This is achieved by maintaining the chain of custody, which ensures that the evidence remains untampered and reliable throughout the entire legal process. Next, expert witnesses play a vital role by providing impartial and scientifically grounded testimony, helping courts understand complex technical information accurately. Ethical considerations are equally important. Investigators must avoid any bias or conflict of interest to maintain objectivity. Additionally, accurate and transparent reporting is essential to uphold trust and credibility in the findings. Finally, respecting confidentiality and adhering to legal requirements protects sensitive information and ensure compliance with the law. Altogether, this framework supports the credibility and usefulness of forensic investigations in the justice system.